forehead. But he actually wrote fallen whilst looking in the mirror, and it was in reverse. So when Andrew showed up, I said to him, dude, do you realise that you have fallen written backwards on your forehead? He said, what? So he went and looked in the mirror, and he still looked at me confused. And I had to sit him down. I got the Economist that was in his back pocket, and I shone it in the mirror, and he finally got it. So the Economist has served some purpose to him over the years. So some of you who would have got an invitation to Andrew and Evi's wedding would not have known who Andrew is. That's because his nickname is Tyrone. There is a reason for that. And I have to apologise in advance for some racial stereotypes that I'm going to use. Tyrone is a very common Afro-Caribbean name, right? And Andrew has some very distinctive Blackman characteristics, traits. No, it's not what you're thinking. This is... I'm going to keep this above board today. He has a very distinctive walk. Has anyone seen the movie Shaft? He has a very distinctive swagger. He has long arms and he walks quite coolly. So that's one reason. The second reason is that he runs like a black man as well. And the third reason is that he can dance. And boy, can this man dance. Sinatras, exactly. You know, the boys have called Andrew's dancing Sinatras over the years, so we all know it as that. But a few years back, we got to realise why he's such a good dancer. And the night in question, sorry, I'm going to embarrass you here. The night in question... Gotta be a church. The night in question, it was about 3 a.m. in the morning. And he was then sharing a flat with Shaunt and Charisse. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, Charisse was woken up to loud Spice Girls music. And the song was, If You Want to Be My Lover. So Charisse, thinking that she was being burgled by some teenage girls, ran out of the bedroom, armed with a hairdryer. And what did she see? She saw this man over here dancing, and think, to create the visual here, because we don't have any audio visual equipment to use, think of Tom Cruise in Risky Business. Andrew was in his underwear dancing to the Spice Girls song. This is true. In his underwear. So if Charisse, who's pregnant and can't be here tonight, is close to full term, so if she goes into early labour, we know what's caused it. But having said that, another time, Tyrone was at his favourite non-Notting Hill club, Bougie, okay? And he was dancing around this night, and was getting quite a bit of attention from the young ladies on the dance floor, and this one lady started dancing close next to him, and Tyrone grabs her hand and gives her a bit of a twirl, throws her up in the air, and you know, the dance floor was on fire. You know, he was busting his best moves, and at the end of the dance, he was out of breath, or the dancing duo were out of breath, and he starts talking to her, thinking that, you know, he was in with a chance with this attractive young lady. And he happened to ask her who she was with that night. And she politely turned over, pointed to her then boyfriend, who is now her husband, and it was Prince William. So this man had a dance with, it was then Kate Middleton, now Catherine Middleton. This is true. Sorry, Evi, I had to throw that one in. So, jokes aside, I have to say that I'm very lucky to have Andrew as a best mate. I love the guy. He's smart, he's got a great sense of humour, he's honest, he's trustworthy. All of the qualities that make him the best mate, I'm sure, are going to make him a great husband as well. You know, when Andrew likes you, There's nothing that he wouldn't do for someone that he likes. So much so that I'm struggling to read this. So much so that he even wrote this part of the speech for me. That was his handwriting, actually. I was struggling to read it. Evie, I've known for quite a few years now. I met her and some of the beautiful bridesmaids. They all look stunning, don't they? The bridesmaids look fantastic tonight. Thank you. This was one night at the Sanderson, and I remember saying to Evie the night I met her is that I think you'll get along quite well with one of my best mates, and I don't know how it happened, but...
He was there.
Sorry?
He was there, but we don't remember him.
Well, anyway. Anyway.
That's Andrew.
Anyway, I think I'm making this. I'm not going to let the truth get in the way of a good story. So anyway, they got talking on the phone, and when they got to know each other a little better, they got along quite well, and it was and it kind of grew from there. And but one thing I have to say, since Andrew and Evi have been together, Andrew's a changed man, and I have to say, dude, you've changed. Not only has he found someone else who can laugh at his jokes, he's found someone who always puts a smile on his face, and he's a happy man, and for that, you know, as his best mate, I'm really happy. So I'll have to end my speech by sharing a quote that I've always liked, and I have to say that marriage is not about finding a person you can live with. It's about finding the person you can't live without. And I really think you two have found that person. And I'll just give you a word of advice from someone who's been married for a year. happily married for a year. And that advice: never, ever, ever go to sleep angry with one another. Do what Anna and I do and just stay up and argue all night. Ladies and gentlemen, please, can you all stand up and raise your glasses and join me in wishing Andrew and Evi all the love, happiness a couple could ever possibly have. To the bride and groom.
Cheers.
Oh, okay, well.
Cheers.
I don't like doing it.
I think it's right. Hi, you're all.
Thanks, James. I know James was very nervous about that speech, and I think we can all safely say that he didn't need to be nervous. That was, without doubt, the best man speech I've heard today. Maybe in the top three. Second best speech. Obviously, I had extensive selection criteria when I was looking for choosing my best man. I was looking for someone who had great charm, wit, sophistication, looked good in a suit. And I think we can, and as you can imagine, it's quite difficult to find someone who combines all those quantities and all those qualities. And I think we can say, James looks great in a suit, doesn't he? But in all seriousness, thanks, that was an awesome speech. You've been an amazing friend. You know, as you've hinted at, you've always been there laughing at my crappest jokes, which is fantastic. It was an honour to be your best man, and it's an even greater honour to have you as my best man today. Thank you. Speaking of people who look great in suits, I'd also like to thank my groomsmen, my ushers, who all look amazing. Did a sterling job of making sure people got to the toga venue and tonight and the wedding and all that sort of thing. You look as though you're straight out of Reservoir Dogs, which was the intention. And we even have a Mr. Pink.
Well done, Ivan.
No, it's Ivan. Obviously, with a destination wedding, everyone has to travel by definition. So thanks very much, everyone who made the effort to come out. Evi and I are really glad to see you all. I guess I'd especially like to thank those who've travelled quite a long way from some exotic, far-flung locations like Australia, Cyprus, Bermuda, Hong Kong, Dubai, Zone 6, North London. Thanks very much. It's really great to see everyone. I think James has already touched on it, but I'd just like to say that the bridesmaids looked amazing today. And I think we should have a toast to the bridesmaids. So can everyone stand up? Ladies, to the bridesmaids. Unfortunately, not everyone we love can be here with us tonight, and I guess Evi and I'd like to also toast absent friends and family. So if I can get you all to stand up again. To absent family and friends. Cheers. You can sit down for a little bit now. The next toast, no, just kidding. I'd also like to thank Evi's family, Andrew and Andy, Natasha, Marissa, for making me feel so welcome and part of your family. And including me in your family traditions, like the traditional Christmas breakfast fry-up, just before the even bigger Christmas dinner. Just as an aside, one of the great things that I love about the sisters in particular is that we all sit down and we open up our presents in turn, and the sisters always go, whenever you open up your present, haven't you done well? Haven't you done well? So you hear this a lot. And I think you'll all agree with me when I say, when I look at my beautiful present tonight, haven't I done well? And the best bit is I haven't unwrapped it yet. On the subject of family, I'd like to thank my mum, Di, who single-handedly raised me, which, for those of you who know me, couldn't have been an easy thing. My mum always taught me not to settle for second best. I think tonight I proved that I've followed her advice to the fullest. Another little known fact is that Evi and Di actually share the same birthday, and one of our first conversations on the internet was actually related to the fact that Evi had the same birthday as my mum, so she gets some credit as well. Evi and I would also like to thank everyone who made today possible, as well as those who helped with our London party for Evi's family who couldn't come tonight. There are too many people to name individually who've helped out, but I guess I'd especially like to say thanks to Andy and Andrew for hosting the London party in your home, and for Tash, who did lots and lots of things, but amongst other things, clambered up on top of the roof and risked her life to clean the light wells, so well done. I'd also like to thank Kiri, who sort of single-handedly pounded some giant wooden stakes into the ground to support the tent for the festivities. If I ever have a problem with vampires, I know who to call. And now we come to the best bit, Evi, or should I say Mrs. Keller? I'm not normally one for talk about magic and fate, but when I think about Evi, I think there's no other way to describe it. I think everyone here should know the story of the proposal of Bluebird, and hopefully that goes some way to explaining some of the table names. But I think the role of magic in our relationship goes back even further. One of our first dates, there was actually a magician present at the bar that we went for a drink. He did lots of amazing tricks, but I think one of the coolest was he asked me to draw a picture of something, and then he had to guess what the picture was without me showing him the picture. Now, I drew a picture, and I was always a big fan of Doctor Who as a kid, so I drew a Dalek. It's about the only thing I can draw. When I finished, the magician asked me to give him a clue, so I said it starts with the letter T. Evi, who was already a little bit tipsy by this point, screamed out, "It's me!" Obviously thinking I'd said E. And this became one of our many sort of numerous running jokes, with me teasing Evi about how she got it wrong and it really wasn't all about her. But actually I realised shortly thereafter I was the one who was wrong and Evi was right. It was about her. It's always been about her. It was today, it is now, and it always will be. So my last thanks for the evening is to thank Evi for saying yes, for saying I do eventually, and of course for marrying me today. I'm a very, very lucky man and I know it. Now if you could all stand again, and I promise this is the last time. It's Evi. Thanks everyone. I'm not going to stand up here all night and bore you with stupid jokes, because clearly that was James's job.
Don't get the mic back, do I? Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you. And shortly we'll be moving into cutting the cake. Okay. Yep. Okay. Thanks. Just as welcome, we've got some last minute decorating of the cake to do.
Not all good as old James.
Second time, it's okay.
Sbrigati, as the Italians say.
Davvero? Ah, Andrea, va la bellina. Col faro che arrivava.
So I hope you all enjoyed the cutting of the cake. Oh, actually, the bride's arrived as well. She missed it.
I was going to do it by myself.
La ragazza sullo sfondo, là. Aspetta, wait. Please. Rosario, ma più a sinistra.
Aspetta, mancano gli ultimi due. C'è più nessuno. Ah, ci si è
No,
messi
no.
You
due.
may now cut the cake.
Jessica.
Don't rush me.
Everybody stay back. Dai.
I'm angry with the knife.
And cut. Sure.
Slow. Look at these
Thanks.
Oh no.
Aspetta di giù, Eddie.
Can we eat a bit? Can we eat a bit?
Yeah, feed each other.
Together. Picture.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We get dessert now.
And that marks the official ending of the pre-wedding diet.
Stand back.
Having flashbacks to Nicholas.
Salve ragazzi, siamo finiti tutti.
Ray, stay away.
Levati per favore. Fate adesso.
Aspetta, fammi vedere.
The knife was clever.
I want a sword. I want a sword next time.
You've been cheating.
Bobby Brandholz.
Adesso tu vai che buona.
Fair enough.
One kiss, one kiss, one kiss.
Oh, Mummy, you get to see us kiss all the time.
Io